Hey, what's up, YouTube world? It is your girl, the Venusian Bull, and I am back to continue the Planets in the Houses series. And in this series, we are going to be discussing the fifth house. I do just want to, point out that I do apologize that it takes me a while to do these videos. It's just a, it's just a lot for me. So we're getting through it, and realistically speaking, I'm hoping I can get through all of the houses by the end of the year, and that's being generous to myself. So just bear with me. Also, I see everybody's comments and I appreciate all of the feedback and all of the positive reinforcement. I do again just want to reiterate that these are generalizations of the planets in the houses. It doesn't mean that what I am describing is exactly how you would operate if you have this placement. Everything is relative to everything else in your chart. It depends on the sign, it depends on what aspects, it depends on the angle. It depends on so many different things if you have other planets in that house. So you kind of have to take this information with a grain of salt and look at the big picture and see how it can apply to you. Again, I'm not saying that this is the gospel. These are just the likely characteristics that you may have if you have said planet in said house. Okay? All right, I'm probably not going to do that disclaimer on every video, but I just want to preface that really strongly. So we're going into one of my favorite houses, and it's the fifth house. I love the fifth house. So the fifth house has to deal with dating, gambling, or just games in general, entertainment, and that is also the entertainment industry. You know what I'm saying? Celebrity, creativity, children, casual sex, expressing oneself, inspiration, sports, athleticism. I just mentioned entertainment, admiration, compliments, aka tell them they're beautiful, fly, fun, all the good things, and your eternal child and youth. So the fifth house is a lot of good things, but obviously, astrology is not really about the good and the bad. It's about your intentions with these placements. So it could sound all, fun and games and great until you get down to the brass tacks of things and see how that individual person basically acts out their placements. So we're going to start with the sun in the fifth house. And obviously the sun in the fifth house is equivalent to the sun in Leo. And the sun is very happy in the fifth house. The sun is very vibrant. The sun is very exuberant in the fifth house. Even if the sun is in like Scorpio or Capricorn, you still may see that those like Leo-esque tendencies coming out. Again, it's all relative to your chart. So obviously, if I'm talking about sun in the fifth house and you have sun in Scorpio in the fifth house, maybe everything I say is not going to apply to you, but you got to look at the big picture of things, right? Okay, so with sun in the fifth house, you are a very sociable person by nature, very creative. You're not afraid to express yourself. That's like innate to you, to be able to express yourself. You're not shy about that. You're not shy about showing your creative pursuits. And putting that off, and you can be very, inspirational to people just because you're so happy. This is a very like happy placement. This can be somebody who just loves to play games and have fun. This is the person who always has, like the game nights at the houses and at the family's houses or friends' houses and things like that. This is a very um, family oriented person, someone who loves children, like probably loves playing games with the kids, setting up the football games, the soccer games, the basketball games with the kids and everything like that. Because, Leo and that sun energy has to deal with children as well. This is somebody who can be very athletic and the best, or strives to be the best. No, they believe they are the best at whatever sport they're doing, really whatever it is that they're doing. They are also, they're the entertainers. They are the quintessential entertainer, I would say, of the entire placements in the houses. Sun in the fifth house is the entertainer. This is the celebrity. This placement could probably give somebody, prominence in some type of way in the entertainment field. So singing, acting, um, even being like a newscaster or something like that, just being famous. You could be on a reality show. Just being famous is very much kind of a part of your destiny with Sun in the fifth house. And now with the internet and social media being a big thing, being a celebrity on social media. You may not be a celebrity in your family, but on social media and Instagram, you're the hottest thing in town. You know, this is somebody who definitely loves compliments. Compliment Sun in the fifth house, please. Even if it seems like they don't like it, they love it because, you gotta understand the fifth house is the Leo house, and we're talking about the sun there. So this is like the ego. This is the personality. This is the vitality. It needs to be reinforced how great they are at things. So if they really are genuinely great at something, and Sun in the fifth house, people, although they can kind of be a little like conceited, they may come off a little cocky. If they are really good at something, because the creativity just kind of spills out, compliment them. Let them know that. Don't be shy to compliment Sun in the fifth house. And they're just kind of like eternally youthful. You know what I'm saying? Like there could be a very old person that you meet with Sun in the fifth house, and they just have this youthful spirit. Like you would never know that they're 70 years old just because they're still hiking, or they're still playing basketball, or they're still, playing with their grandchildren like they're, 30 years old and stuff like that. So definitely understand that. Another thing, just, I don't want to say this is like a negative aspect of the fifth house, but just remember that the fifth house represents the sun in the fifth house. It represents men in your life. So particularly, obviously, if you're a woman, this could represent your father or your husband. So kind of depending on the sign and things of that nature, it could kind of represent your relationship with said husband or father. Like if it's a husband, then this person is probably very fun. You have a lot of fun together and things like that, but it can be kind of surface level, because remember, the fifth house is just about dating and like casual relationships. It's not about anything deep, the fifth house. So just be careful when having those kind of fifth house relationships, especially if you're looking for something more. You know what I'm saying? And in terms of that as well, you could think that things are, because Sun in the fifth house is going to be very romantic. It's going to be very extravagant, when it comes to dating and things like that. And after, like, I don't know, maybe like a month or so of that, they may get bored and want to move on to the next thing because their sun is in the fifth house. It's not about like sustaining a relationship. It's just about dating and enjoying that and meeting new people and, having fun and understanding that. So understand that the sun in the fifth house is a very like lighthearted placement, that some people who, may want something a little bit more heavy, that may distract them from that. Sun in the fifth house, definitely somebody that's having kids. You love kids, you adore kids, you want kids. And if for whatever reason there's something in your chart that indicates that you don't want kids, whatever creative pursuits you have, you birth them, you nurture them. Like you view them as your kids. Maybe your pet, if you view them as your kid. But I would say, typically speaking, Sun in the fifth house, you're gonna have kids. Man, woman, non-binary, whatever. You want to have children. That's something that's very fulfilling for you. Um, so yeah, I've been rambling a little bit, but that's kind of the gist of the sun in the fifth house. Very fun, very exuberant, very creative, very expressive. Oh my gosh, children with this placement is like it's going to be a very fun time with these kids, but they're going to be like all over the place, but they're going to have so many talents and creative pursuits. It's going to be like, I'm going to have them in ballet, and I'm going to have them piano, and then they might want to do a little karate, and they're just going to be involved in everything, and they're probably going to be good at a lot of things because they know how to. It's like Sun in the fifth house knows how to create a way for them to be good, create their own lane, so to speak. So very, for the most part, pretty positive kind of placement. And thank you so much for watching and listening, and I will see you in the next video.